Zack Polanski went on Newsnight to condemn the proposed reforms to the asylum system from the Labour Party in absolute terms. It's inhumane, it's extreme, and it's not what people voted for. So let's get straight into the clip of him really roasting Laila Cunningham and the Labour Party for their divisive and really dangerous rhetoric and policy ideas.
Every single Labour MP needs to look to their conscience.
Why?
The interview we just heard, you said it yourself. The question was, you never told anyone when they voted they were voting for this. This is extreme, this is inhumane, and it is a government of cowards. Rather than take on the powerful, because the issue here is not immigrants.
It's true, people didn't vote for this. They would have voted for reform last year if they wanted this type of divisive rhetoric. They're appealing to a very small proportion of the population because reform's popularity isn't just about immigration. It's a kind of distrust in politicians and a desire for something different, a protest vote because they see Labour and Tories are the same old. It's not just immigration. For a lot of people it is, but there's deeper discontent and alienation below the surface. Immigration is a symptom.
It's inequality. They went for pensioners, they went for the disabled, and now they're going for people who are fleeing war and conflict. I am furious. So many people are furious because this is a totally...
Hear that? Fleeing France. No, they're moving through France because you have to, when you travel from one country to another, you have to travel through other countries. That's how it works. And if you want to come to the UK, which usually the reason why is the language. English is one of the most spoken languages on the planet. That's why people don't generally go to Denmark, or although they do go to Greece actually quite a lot. England is very attractive, and also it's got cultural capital. It's got, history. It's a desirable place to live. Surely that's a good thing, but maybe not for Laila Cunningham.
Unconscionable way to deal with things. And how dare the minister say we're an open, tolerant country? How dare she come tonight to Newsnight and talk about compassion at the same time they're talking about seizing people's assets? I am a child of Jewish ancestry. I am Jewish. We have seen this with Nazi Germany. We are seeing it in 2025. This government needs to hang their heads in shame.
Okay, you're obviously disagreeing. What would you say to Zack Polanski?
Well, because you can't just have compassion for the illegal immigrants coming on boats and not compassion for the girls that are being sexually assaulted by them and the people that are killed on our streets. We do have...
You can have compassion for both. It's not a choice of either or. And also, this is a misrepresentation of they're trying to act like these refugees, asylum seekers are disproportionately committing more crime than the native population. Simply not true. It's just not true. They have anecdotes and scaremongering, but they don't have the evidence because that they'd provide it if they did. That's why they have to pick isolated situations, which is problematic, as we'll see in a moment.
Have men that come on boats and within 8 days sexually assault 14-year-old girls.
A man, and that's horrible and needs to be condemned and punished. But do you tar a whole group of people for the behaviour of an individual? We don't do that with white people, do we? We don't do that with white sexual predators. So, what's wrong with these white men? Never happens, does it?
Find it really galling that the Green Party are so focused on illegal migrants, but they don't have any compassion for our young girls and women who...
I'm not sure that's true.
Well,
it's a pure straw man. It's a pure straw man. So ironic coming from Reform that literally had a man who assaulted his ex-girlfriend. I think it was his girlfriend at the time, James McMurdoch. He's gone now, but... you just couldn't make this. I mean, you can't even call out the hypocrisy because they don't care. They're not even interested in solving issues of domestic violence, sexual assault, funding programs that help women. They're not interested.
First of all, an asylum seeker who is coming over here cannot come over here illegally because we need safe and managed routes. And it's very clear across international law that anyone is able to...
No, we don't. That's why people come over in small boats. We have cycling. No, that's what we need. Why aren't Labour just doing that? It's a visible, very potent image that the right-wing media love. Nigel Farage loves standing on the cliffs of Dover and pointing at boats, doesn't he? It's one of his favourite things to do. He's probably doing it right now. Create safe and legal routes.
find a safe sanctuary in a country. France is a safe country, but Britain is also a safe country. Germany takes twice as many asylum seekers as Britain. Secondly, sexual assault is a deep.
Her face sound like Germany takes the most. Spain has a really progressive, compassionate attitude towards it. They're kind of looking at the aging population, the fact that it's good for their economy, and taking a holistic, compassionate route. France takes more. Even Italy does. Greece. I mean, Cyprus, per capita, smaller countries, but even Greece and Cyprus are taking more. We need to take our fair share. It's that simple, really. It's a moral imperative, especially as we like to pretend we're a Christian nation. Jesus was a refugee, right? The most famous refugee in history. Would we take him now? He was born in Bethlehem, the West Bank in today's terms. Colonized land. Would we accept a refugee from West Bank today? Jesus was brown as well. I mean, would they? Probably not, would they? Let's be honest. Richard Tice wouldn't, would he?
Awful and tragic thing that we need to prevent and stop. But there is absolutely no evidence that the people who are sexually assaulting people are people seeking asylum. And
I'm sorry, there is. There's convictions.
There
is convictions of people who came on boats. They have been convicted. Have you seen the case in Epping?
Okay, so she says convictions, one conviction. Evidence, he's talking about broad patterns of a problem. There is no evidence of that. And if there was, that's a conversation we can have and go, okay, this is a problem that we need to deal with. But it simply isn't happening. It's emotion. She's arguing from emotion and intuition here, which you can't really combat because she's not interested in a good faith debate on this. It just ain't going to happen.
Are you not watching the news? Of course there is evidence.
Well, this is a very...
Are you not watching GB News? I'm not sure Zach gets his news from GB News.
Definition of racism is finding one case and saying, actually, this is the class of entire people across people seeking asylum.
The Home Secretary.
See, listen. Don't talk about generalizations about whole swathes of different ethnicities, races, religions. We can just, it's just so mask off, isn't it? But they get upset when they're called out, which is, but they're not victims. They're, the strongest people, the strongest of us.
She said illegal migration is making this country a more divided place. Is she right?
The Home Secretary is making this country a more divided place. She talks about the racial abuse she's experienced, and that's awful. But we know that every time the Labour government parrot reform and bring in these sorts of policies, we know that hate crime rises. We know there are lots of...
even Keir Starmer has recognised this. And over the last 5 years, we've seen abuse towards NHS staff, shopkeepers, people with public-facing roles receive racist abuse. And this is no accident. It's the same... what happened in 2016 with the election of Donald Trump. Hate crimes went up towards minorities. We're seeing Islamophobia go up, anti-Semitism go up, hate towards trans people, a whole slew of violent crimes towards minorities. Muslims are the biggest victim of hate crime in the UK. But, it's the left who are divisive. It's the left who, call out the racism, who are the divisive ones.
People in this country, people of colour who are not migrants, who are already feeling marginalised, who are already feeling in some places where they don't belong. We're having this whole conversation driven by Tommy Robinson and the Millionaire Reform Party.
Don't speak for people.
The Labour government...
He's not speaking for people. He's given the evidence. He's saying people and evidence as well, data. She doesn't like data. That's okay. It's all emotions with her. But the data is clear. Hate crimes are going up towards minorities. This is no accident. The, hostile environment under Theresa May, the constant immigrant bashing over the last, since Brexit, but, over the last how many 100 years. It's so obvious, isn't it? Like when you constantly talk about immigration and small boats and then violence towards minorities goes up. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Let him finish, and then I'll come back to you.
that the Labour government are emboldening this kind of rhetoric from reform, because I don't know what Keir Starmer's plan is here. If people want Nigel Farage and reform, if they want the kind of racism that Tommy Robinson is pushing when we've got Labour ministers saying deport, 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 and Tommy Robinson is saying the Overton window is obliterated, they'll vote for reform. They've got that choice.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And Labour are appealing to a certain demographic that are concerned about immigration. But reform have that vote. And also this kind of punitive, performative cruelty, is that going to wash with them either? People who in maybe centrist who do have concern about immigration and, you know, refugees and the numbers of immigrants over the last few years. But there's a way of doing this, and it is having an honest, open debate about immigration, driven by data and the need for immigration, not a constant fear-mongering and buying into the narrative of Farage. That's the dangerous thing, and it doesn't work.
It's on destroying this country. Bankers are bankrupting this country. Fossil fuel giants, armed trades companies, they're the ones that are destroying this company. And ultimately, if we want to stop the small boats, and I want to stop the small boats, no one wants people risking their life.
Yes, he wants more. No, he wants safe and legal routes, which you said exist, but they don't. It's incoherence as well. You can't have an argument with these people. Yes, he does. He wants people to come here and have their right, which the most of people who seek asylum are given that right. No, he does. He wants demagogues like you to use this as political capital. That's what he wants. He wants more small boats. What the fuck is she talking about?
Treat them as
I absolutely do. That's an outrageous thing to say.
He wants to treat them as asylum seekers. What are they then? Is that a little slip there? They're not human, so they're not asylum. They're just criminals to her. I don't know evidence, but they're calling us small boats. Just criminals, just bad people, just bad people.
Why do you want to stop them then? Why do you stop them? Why do you want to stop them?
Because I want people to be able to get
I thought we're an open and tolerant country.
safe
Why
and
do you want to
managed
stop them?
routes so they can apply for asylum.
Why do
because
What? God, she's so annoying, just interrupting like, why do you want to stop them? Like a child. Why do you want to stop them? So people can come through safe and legal routes. So they don't risk their lives. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right?
most asylum cases are seen to be legitimate, over 80% of cases.
And
I
that
want
is
them
a
to be able
problem.
to come here to a processing centre.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's all distraction. It's all so we don't tax billionaires and tackle the real problems facing society, which is income inequality, massive wealth consolidated at the top, power, and everyone else just shut up, put up with it, and just look over there. There's a little immigrant over there, a little refugee. He's your problem, not me. With my big bag of money.
In a way that is dignified and treats people
Laila
with humanity rather than as numbers or pieces of crap, which is the way the Labour government are treating them.
True.
The taxpayers, the hotels are completely inappropriate, as are the barracks. Ultimately, these are huge lucrative contracts between government ministers and some of these companies, whereas actually we should be putting people into housing and treating people with dignity. Because actually,
Housing that should go to British people.
if we allow people...
Oh my God. Housing for people who want to come here. Yes, British people. We're not... See this like, oh, well, Reform going to build social housing? Are they fuck? Of course they're not. So why do they say this constant virtue signal towards British people?
to
Who do we
work, if we
prioritise,
allow
Zach?
people to
Who
work,
do we
we know that
prioritise?
migration is of economic benefit. We prioritise British people. There's 150,000 vacancies in the National Health Service. We have vacancies in the construction
I'm
industry.
talking about for
And we
housing.
have an
Yeah, he's talking about British people and getting health and actually having the houses built. She doesn't realise that a key component of that is the fact that our NHS is on its knees. 150, I mean, that includes in doctors, nurses, carers, who actually come over here and benefit our economy. The only growth we've had in the last couple of decades in the economy is because of immigrants. Without 1/5 the workforce, which is made up of immigrants, we'd be pretty fucked right now. And we are since Brexit. There's a reason why our economy is slumping. A big component is that we've lost billions towards Brexit, but also a lot of people who we told to fuck off did kind of fuck off.
aging
housing. There is
population.
not
Who is going to
enough
pay
housing.
people
We
pensions?
have hundreds of thousands on the waiting list for social housing.
Let's build some social housing.
See, she can't even comprehend it. Like, yeah, let's build more social housing. Well, no. Well, that means we won't have, a boogeyman to demonize constantly, because they don't want to solve any of these problems. They don't. It's clear they're not interested in actually making people's lives better.
It's all a distraction from inequality.
It's not a distraction.
It's all a distraction from reform and their billionaire mates who want to divide this country rather than allow people to treat each other with dignity.
Do pause, because we can't hear either of you if you talk over each other.
No, it's her talking over him. He's talking. She was constantly talking over him. But they have to present it as in like, oh yes, Zack. It's so pathetic. It's so. I mean, I can't stand the BBC. The BBC have enabled Farage, by the way. People defending the BBC. Why? Why? We may not have Brexit and Farage if it wasn't for the BBC. I don't understand why people are fucking defending the BBC. Yeah, they've done some good things, but they are part of the liberal establishment that will enable fascism and have and always will, because they're not interested in promoting left-wing progressive ideas.
Government will do anything rather than tax multimillionaires and billionaires and wealth to invest in our communities. Our communities are broken. They are fractured, but it's not from inequality. Sorry, it's not from immigration. It's from inequality.
True. And it's and that is complex. And that is hard to get through to people. People don't realize that the top 50 families have the same wealth as the bottom half of the UK population, which is 34 million people. 34 million people, 50 families. The disparity is getting ever bigger. Since COVID, they've doubled their wealth. I think it's incomprehensible. Like climate change, these problems are so incomprehensible. But when you see the small boats, it's very it's visceral. It's visible. It's cinematic. It's, you see it on the front of the newspaper and it's scary. And that's how they win. It's all fear. It's all emotion. It's all scaremongering. And this is racism. We have to call it out. We have to call it out. And I'm glad Zack is, because you see very few politicians do this. But he's very strong and very principled, which people want. People want this, and he's popular. He's gaining a popularity. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Join the membership to support the channel from 99 pence a month. And I'll see you in the next video.